I will tell you about the 10 most common foods I eat on the carnivore diet. Stay tuned. Hey y'all, this is Kelly the Broken Carnivore Christian. I'm hoping y'all having a good day today, and I am going to tell you the list of the 10 most common foods that I eat normally in a weekly basis on a carnivore diet. And we're going to start with number 10, all beef hot dogs. Yes, I do eat hot dogs on this diet. I don't eat them as much as like beef or steak or eggs, but I do like them every now and then. And the ones I get is the Nathan's all beef hot dogs. And the reason why I get those hot dogs is because when you read the label, it only has 1 gram of carb per serving. Some of the other hot dogs kind of have a lot of in there, a lot of fillers and stuff, but Nathan's is the most common one I use, and they don't have but just 1 gram of carb. And Dr. Berry says it's Dr. Berry approved. He says if you can only afford hot dogs and bologna, hey, it's better than junk food. Number 9, beef sticks. I love beef sticks, and a lot of times when I'm on the run, I usually get beef sticks. I prefer it. I'd love to someday make my own homemade beef sticks, but I'll get there. But most of the time, I'll just go buy the ones. And my favorite are the chomps. I like the ones with the jalapenos in it, but I get the chomps. Chomps is my favorite, but they can get pretty pricey. So there is an alternative. Aldi's has these zero sugar, either regular all beef sticks, or they have beef jerky, zero sugar, and I like them. And that's one thing about them is if you are on a budget and you want beef sticks where you have them on the road and stuff to keep from having to buy junk food at a gas station, you can put these in your vehicle. You can cut them on the run, or you're on the hike. You can use this. They're very affordable, especially at half the price. Number 8, I like to use butter. Butter is one of the good fats that are commonly used. And what I like about it is I can use it for not only cooking the eggs, cooking any low fat meat like chicken thighs, something you can cook in there. Or what I like to do on my steak is I like to put butter on top of my steak, and that way it gives it a little extra flavor. And butter is one of those is I can use it in many other ways. Number 7, what I like to eat is chicken thighs. I usually get the skin on boned in chicken thighs, but what I do is I cut those chicken thighs, the bones out of the chicken thighs, and I make them boneless, but I want to keep the skin on. And I did a Laura Spath where I cook them in beef tallow and for 10 minutes and get that skin really crispy, but unfortunately I'm still working on that one where they're crispy and not kind of burnt. But the one thing about it is like I take the bones and I can put those bones in a bag and store them in the freezer. And one day I can make chicken bone stock. And that's one good thing about it is it's very versatile. I can use it for multi things. Number 6 that I eat the most is beef stew meat. And beef stew meat, I can eat the beef stew meat any way. Either I can put it in like an all meat chili, carnivore chili, cutivore chili, whatever, like they do in Texas, because I believe Texas said they don't have beans in their chili, and I'd rather not even have beans in my chili. Or what I've been doing this last week is I browned it up and I mixed it with my eggs and some bacon and had some Power Bowl, and or I just eat it by itself. It's very, very readily affordable, very cheap. I can eat it any ways I want. Number 5, this is one meat that everybody will agree that is actually affordable cut of meat, especially if you're on a budget. It's called chuck roast. You can use this as a roast. You can use this. You can cut it up in half to make what they call a chuck steak. Or you could have 2 different cuts of steak on this, and one of them is called chuck eye steak, and it very resembles a ribeye. and it's got the same 1-to-1 fat to protein ratio. And that's one thing about chuck roast. You can use it many different ways, from a roast to even just steaks. I get this a lot, and this is one of those meats, especially if you're on a budget, you can really eat like a king. Number 4, eggs. Eggs is a great source of protein. I eat a lot of eggs. I usually eat eggs every day, at least four to maybe 6 eggs a day. You can cook these in many different ways, from hard boiled to soft boiled to fried to over easy, sunny side up. You can just take the whites out. Eggs is great, but I usually get the pasture raised. There's a local store, grocery store that I get my eggs from, because they get their eggs. These pasture raised eggs locally here in Missouri, and they are what they say is what they say on that carton. There is no feed. Those chickens do chicken things, and that's what I usually like. Is I want that good dark yellow yolk. But if you can't afford it and you need just buy eggs, eggs is, you can just eat any eggs. It's better than eating Doritos or I call Debbie fat cakes or snack cakes, stuff like that. But if you can, get the pasture raised. Number 3 is bacon. Everyone loves bacon. Who hates bacon? Man, bacon is like candy to me. It's a great source of fat, great source of protein. You can put them in power bowls. It is part of the BBBE diet that Dr. Berry does, and yeah, it's a great food, and it's a great source. You can make jerky, you can fry it, you can bake it in the oven. It's great. I a lot of times cut them in quarters and either eat them as a chip, or I can eat them as a snack. So bacon is one of those is my go-to foods. Now, I don't eat a big old pack of bacon. I used to eat a lot of it, but now I just cut down to just a half a pack. If I do a power bowl for two meals. Number 2 is ground beef. Ground beef is a great source of protein. It is readily affordable. You can get that. And one thing about ground beef is if you can't afford, any other meats, one thing about ground beef, you can pretty much pick it on sale. You can be able to get it. I highly recommend to get 80/20. I do sometimes do 85/15. But also if I get the higher, like 93, 96, or 90%. Usually I use those to make my beef chips in. Great. It's readily affordable, great source of protein. It is very versatile. You can put it in casseroles. You can make power bowls with it. You can make burger patties. You can do even just loose ground meat. You can make it like a taco meat, whatever you want to do. Ground beef is good. You can use it for about anything. Now, I do have a few foods that I put as honorable mention or I get every now and then or as a treat. And 2 of them as I do as a treat every now and then, because dairy is one of those that you got to be careful with. And my first one is cheese. I do like cheese, but you can get too much. You can eat too much. You can gain weight. It's one of those comfort foods, and we have to be careful. But I do eat cheese, but every now and then. I use the other one is heavy whipping cream, and I use that to make ice cream every now and then as a treat, or I like to make this egg custard, very, very, very good. But just like the cheese, you want to be careful because it is dairy, but also you want to make sure you get organic, because you want to make sure you read the labels. And some of the store-bought and some of the others pertains fillers. It should just said cream. It should said heavy whipping cream. It shouldn't say, fillers in there. Why do we need to put fillers in it? It's cream. It's what they skim off the top of the milk when the milk was milk from the cow, and why do you need all that stuff? And so I always get the organic kind, and that way I know it just says cream. Now, there's other cuts of beef that I really like that I get, but I don't get every now and then because sometimes it can get expensive, and I don't have a smoker to be able to do it. As one of them is brisket. The other one is, brisket, and I can't think of the other ones, but there's some other cuts that are, pretty more expensive. And so I kind of stick with what I can, more affordable. Usually brisket I get at I'll go to a barbecue place. As long as there's no barbecue sauce on it and nothing like that, I usually get brisket, and it's pretty tasty. Number one food that I eat is my favorite. I don't eat it as much, but if I could, I would. But one of these days, I'm going to either get a membership back at Sam's or maybe take a trip to Costco and get me a ribeye roast, and that is ribeye steak. That is my favorite cut of steak. It has a 1-to-1 fat to protein ratio. It's very fatty cut of meat. Very, very satiating. You can eat this. No matter where I go, if I go to a restaurant, I always got to have a ribeye. And that's why it is my favorite cut of meat. Those are my top 10 foods that I eat mostly on the carnivore diet, plus the ones I eat as a treat, or if I go to the somewhere that sells brisket. Those are what I usually eat. As always, I will be closing this video out, and I'm going to go to Joshua 1:9. And this is what it says. This is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And no matter what, he's always with you. He's always with you. He's always there in heart. He's always there to remind you daily that he is God. He will show you the miracles around. He'll show you the miracles within. And one thing about it is he loves you. So let me know what carnivore foods you like and that you eat on a weekly basis. Please comment down below. And likewise, always, if you like this content, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell when you know that next video is coming out. So let us be kind, be positive, have a good attitude, encourage, and support one another. This is Kelly, the Broken Carnivore Christian. Y'all have a good day. God bless.